We have the stove and oven combo, which is a total game changer.
My favorite piece of advice is Craigslist. Always be on Craigslist every day, maybe 2 times a day. So this is our bed and we have it on this lift system.
You can kind of get into the cycle of what ifs and overthink things.
I'm Sawyer.
I'm Courtney. This is Mew Mew.
And this is Elfie, our 2003 Isuzu box truck. Why don't you come on in and check it out.
So this is our kitchen. This is our sink. We did it kind of in an interesting way. We did it lengthwise instead of horizontal, just to make some more counter space because we really don't have that much at all. And then also we put our faucet a little bit closer to us. This has been really handy for saving water because while you're doing dishes, you can just do the little like elbow on and off. So that saves water, which is critical van life. So this is just our drying rack, which is really nice. It's also one of the reasons why we laid out the sink the way that we did, so we can still be washing dishes while having them dry, which was really, really handy. The backsplash all around here, Sawyer made. It's just outlined in mountains. I think Mount Baker is in there, which is awesome. And then we have our little USB outlet, which is very important. This backsplash I made too out of plaster. I pressed flowers and poured plaster into it, so that was cool. We have the stove and oven combo, which is great. It's a total game changer. The fact that we can bake. All of our drawers are very well organized. We have a sliding silverware area, which is nice. Plates, bowls, all the good stuff. Over here we have our spice rack. Over here we have our little propagation stations, which are super fun to have. Right now we have our green onions in there, but we like to gather plants for like places that we go and just put them in there and see if they'll grow, which is always fun. We have our cat scratching post, which is a must in a kitchen. Under here are a bunch of drawers. So we have art stuff, towels, and in this last one we have our games. So we have our 45-gallon water tank right here. We wanted it inside in case for winter time we didn't want our water to freeze because that's important. Oh, and this is also fun. Our garbage can is just right there, which is nice and hidden. So just opposite of the kitchen, we have our breakfast bar, I guess you could say. This is one of our newer additions and we are absolutely in love with it. The stools fold up and hang just right down here. And the bar also just folds down for travel. I work from home and this is pretty much where I work most of the time, so I always have a great view. All of the window framing is this beautiful wood, and it was actually the original flooring of when our truck was a furniture moving truck, and it's pretty nuts how beautiful it is, and it was just being walked over. So it was really fun to be able to use it for all of our windows. So one of the big things about living in a box that was my criteria was I wanted it to feel open. So we added as many windows as we could. And we have this window right here and it's mirrored directly on the opposite side where the kitchen is. And that really opens up the space. And we always kind of laugh that normally the middle of your house isn't the brightest spot, but in ours it is.
So we got into this just because we had always loved camping and being outdoors, and we had had multiple like camp rigs in our cars. So we knew we'd just love traveling and wanted to see different places. In college, I lived in a like 10 by 10 room for a year, and that's when I like realized, oh, this isn't so bad. If I can wake up in this little box every day and look out the same window, I can definitely do it looking out at different views. I always sort of knew that we would fit well in a small space, and also while we were building, we were in a small like outbuilding. So we were used to living like close together.
We've been together for about 6 years. Even when we got together, we were talking about wanting to do this. We had to finish up college and actually build up the funds to be able to afford to do something like this. And then yeah, once we graduated, we saved up a little bit, found this truck for $3,500, and yeah, we were really excited, and now we have our home.
Okay, so next up we have our living room, and this is located at the front of the truck, directly behind the cab, on the other side of that wall. And it is sort of like our most multi-purpose room. Below here we have our fridge, freezer combo. To the right, we have what we like to call our study. We have our nice bookshelf, and this actually lifts out and becomes a desktop that functions right here. All beneath me and behind the couch, we have cubbies and really big drawers that act as like our closet space. And then yeah, above me, we have our bed, which is actually on a lift system. So it lowers down and it rests on this countertop. And there's like a back rim that runs around the whole couch. So it's not actually supported on the cables because they're only rated for like 200 pounds. So it wouldn't work for fully supported, but like rested here, it's rock solid. We have reclaimed like garden fence posts that we made our like big run here because it's like almost 6 feet of open space between supports. This wood and almost all of the yellow colored wood here was reclaimed from a building that I tore down for my grandma, and then she rebuilt her new house there. So it was really fun to get to repurpose all of that material into our home and like give it a new life and keep it going down the road. So this is also sort of like one of the biggest areas that we got to decorate. We got both of these pieces from a antique store that we just love to visit where we were building the truck. And then this was actually a really cool find because when we got it, it was extremely corroded and like you couldn't see any of the detail, like a little bit of the woman in the middle, but there's so much intricacy to it. So we took it home and like cleaned it with vinegar, I believe it was. And that just came off and it like revealed this incredible plate. This was a charcuterie board I made for Courtney's birthday. And then yeah, we just liked having these sort of simple plant holders that are road secure and able to just have little floral decorations because we really like bringing the natural feelings inside with us. And then this is just like a little apricot vase that I made from like a tree that came down on my parents' property. This corner of the couch you can't really access with drawers. So we made this cushion separate, and then there's a little hatch, and we have 330 amp hours on a lithium battery bank, and then a 1800 watt inverter in there. And then our battery bank is actually pretty unique because a friend of mine from high school built it himself out of a salvaged BMW i5. So we actually have sports car batteries, which we think is kind of cool. And it was just awesome. Like it totally fit like with what we were trying to do, that it was just one more thing that we were able to save from just being trash. And they've been absolutely incredible. They're 32 volts. So it's a pretty robust system. We have 885 watts of solar on the roof because we have a pretty big footprint. We were able to cram a lot of power up there. So we've had really great luck with that system. So this is our bed, and we have it on this lift system that we got off Amazon. It was supposed to be a storage lift that we expanded to be the size of a full queen bed. So it just comes down just like this. And it can actually go as fast as the drill will, but it gets kind of awkward for the cat. And then, so it's this bar here. It's just 1 inch square iron tube that you're able to just like separate and attach it on. So it's like no welding or anything like that. It's a very achievable lift without doing the very expensive like electric ones. Yeah, so we went for a full queen bed because it is 2 of us living in here full time. So we kind of wanted that full size. And then we have this light that was built into the back wall that is sort of like our bedroom light, and we have everything on dimmers so it can get really kind of mild in the evening times. And then the armrest of our couch acts as a step so that it's easy to get up because it actually is pretty high off the ground to be above the countertops. So here we are at the back of the truck where we actually have our front door to come into the space. So we call this like our entryway mud room. And we have a couple unique features here. We have this cool medicine cabinet that I made for Courtney. On the other side from that, we have a pantry over here, which is of course stuffed to the brim because we like to stay remote as long as possible. Below here we have our coat closet, and then this is where the drill lives for the bed lift. This is actually the leg for the desk. Here we have a door to our bathroom, and this was actually a really cool material that Courtney found. This door is from a barn that was built in the 1800s, and then also the corrugated metal on our roof is from there as well. We raised the floor up for the bathroom about 6 inches, and that was so I could do plumbing inside the box, but it also allows for shoe drawers that live underneath. So we have 3 drawers for shoes, another box with exercise equipment, and then a little one for the cat. And then back behind me here, this was another tip I got straight from a tiny house tour video. The corner space isn't used you're never gonna stand there, so we were able to fit this cleaning closet, which holds a lot of stuff, random more cleaning supplies, and then we have first aid up at the top. And it was just such a smart use of space that otherwise is just going to be empty. And then over here, this is just a planter box that holds our plants on the road. We had them in the sink for about 6,000 miles of travel, and we were just so fed up of having to move them out when we made lunch and that sort of thing that they now have permanent road seats, a coat rack below there, and then this is a propane safety heater, catalytic safety heater, rated for a 300 square foot house, and we're only 120. So it gets us nice and toasty real quick, and it's worked out really well and was a cheaper alternative than the exterior thermostat models. And so next up we have our bathroom. And so this is the really cool barn door. One of my favorite things to make is latches. So I designed this sort of spring latch that clips to keep it shut. And then also the accordion style gives us a little bit more space to get it up and out of the way. And so when you step into our bathroom, you are in the basin. I wanted to avoid the standard RV wet bath where you're showering with your toilet. So we are, but we have this sort of curved curtain track that comes around and sort of separates the toilet area out of the shower pan. And yeah, so the floor is raised about 6 to 8 inches here. But the 8-foot ceiling, or almost 8 feet, means that I can fit in the bathroom fine, even under the shower head, and I'm 6'2". And then in here we have a double hung window, which we thought was really critical because it can open down, so you can get a nice view while you're showering without feeling nervous. And then the other thing we did is frosted glass paint on the window, just so that it is a private bathroom window. Right here we just have a little box for our soaps. At the bottom, it's sort of like a footrest, but it's really just the water heater was a little bit deeper than our bumper and shed, which we'll see outside. So it extended into the shower pan just a little. And then, so the pan itself, I made myself out of plywood and then did a tabletop epoxy resin coat over it. And I was able to do a much more drastic angle than you would see in a standard pan, and that was to make sure that it would drain properly even if you're not having a perfectly level parking space. And then so over here we have a separate composting toilet, which is not common in van builds because it is a very large footprint compared to the Nature's Head. When we were doing our research, we thought there was a few different ick factors that agreed with us better. So we went with this model, and we had the space and have been loving it so far with 9 months with it. So yeah, we have just a simple little 12-volt fan running in here, so it sort of vents the steam from the shower. The fan wasn't as necessary as we initially thought because van showers are very on-off, not super steamy. But we do think it's the right call just to have it just in case. And then I also put in USB outlets in the bathroom because you never know when you're gonna need them. The last room that we have in this space of the truck is actually our little cat condo. In our cat condo, we have Mew Mew's litter box and a little hangout space for her. And then we also put this door on. So if we ever need to have the truck open on the side of the road or someplace we're not comfortable or she's trying to bolt, we can have her contained and have easy in and out access to our space. And then to clean, this whole door actually lifts out so we can change the litter, take the whole box out and clean it deeper.
One thing that was really, really important to us when building this rig was trying to reuse as many materials as we possibly could to give it a new life. So everything you see in here that is wood was some sort of building before. And it's really fun to have a story for every little piece that you get to share with others, and just giving it new life feels really special. I knew this was gonna happen, but I have been consuming a lot less, just buying clothes. We're doing a really good job at not wasting food, just all those sorts of things, just going out and all of that. We don't do it as much, so.
I mean, it's been very comfortable in terms of like a home, like there isn't a whole lot of sacrifice in the comfort aspect. So my favorite piece of advice is Craigslist. Always be on Craigslist every day, maybe 2 times a day. Check every section, because like we found the truck for $3,500, which was just like an incredible opportunity. We were expecting to pay like up to 10 grand for it. We've gotten like lots of free materials, lots of very cheap materials. And that was always like very important to us. We wanted to reclaim and reuse as much as possible. So I really recommend checking your local resale, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, anything like that. So here we are at the back of the truck, or our front porch. We have just our door to get in, regular house door, and we got a combo entry lock, which we absolutely love. We don't have to bring our keys with us when we're leaving the truck. Just leave them inside and have the combo to get in. We have exterior outlets, because you never know when you're gonna have something plugged in. We have a up and down lift gate, which is super cool. It acts as our step to get in and out. And when we have it tucked away, there's a sense of security with it, because it's not a very big area to stand up on. You're kind of like on the ledge. So it just gives us a little bit more privacy when we're in parking lots and that sort of thing. On the other side, we have the tool shed. This is our Furrion instant water heater. And then in here, I just have all of my battery powered tools and random hand tools. I'm a carpenter by trade. And then also I just love the visual it gives it, breaking up the bumper. I think it gives it a lot of depth. And then we also have just the 2 porch lights, which is really fun having exterior light when you're hanging out outside at night. It gives it a really fun look. On this side of the truck, so we have 2 boxes that can hold 4 propane tanks. They're just the standard 5-pound barbecue tanks, and we have them all plumbed individually. So our heater has its own tank, the water heater has a tank, and then the oven has a tank. And then the 4th one is a spare to go wherever it's needed. And also, if the oven goes out, we can grab another one and still cook dinner, or grab the oven and turn on the heater so we don't freeze at night.
So I painted this mural on the side of our truck. I wanted something fun on there that was a little bit unique. And I really wanted to give our truck a face. So this is her, this is Elfie. Our gray water tank is right here. And we fill up our water tank right here. The hose just goes in. This is Elfie's cab. It's really awesome. We like being disconnected from the house so we don't hear everything bang around and freak out that everything's gonna break. So that's nice. We have a little deck on top and the roof box for storage. And we also use the cab as sort of a closet whenever we're parked somewhere, which is really handy. Something I would say is just go for it. I feel like you can kind of get into the cycle of what ifs and overthink things, and it's really important to think through things and be thoughtful with your decisions. However, you don't want to get stuck in that cycle and it's 5 years and you still don't even have your rig, so.
Well, thanks for checking out our truck. It was awesome getting to show you guys around.
If you want to follow us, we're at Box Truck Living on Instagram.
And we hope to see you guys out there.